One of the toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to the home of the Florida State Seminoles, Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. As we'll see, the number 13 team in the country, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on another team from the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles. 48 Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Hurricanes will get us underway with the opening kickoff. On the run from inside his own 5. So Florida State's offense will get first crack at it today. This rivalry is one of the most storied, at least in the modern generation of college football, but last year sort of left a bad taste in everyone's mouth in Tallahassee as it just never was competitive.
It was a dominant win by the Canes.
He's loose. That's a nice pickup to give him some breathing room, and they've got it out to the 27. Coming off a 12-1 season in 2023, last season was one of the biggest collapses in college football history for Mike Norvell and the Seminoles, and guys, they have to turn it around.
And now they're in a seminal moment for this program, right? Like, they have to respond. They had more inches of snow at Doak Walker Stadium last year than they had wins, period. They floundered. It was not a good season, Palmer. They've got to respond or else it's going to get bad in Tallahassee.
They got to start fast. To me, that's the biggest key for the Seminoles this year. They've got to put some wins together to build that confidence, to regain that Seminole mindset of being a dominant program once again.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, it's Castellanos. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Fires to the big fella. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive. So he was forced to just take what the defense gave him, and they were able to stop him short of the first down.
And when you're a defense and you get 3rd and long and you know exactly where those sticks are, you set your feet at them, they throw it underneath, I go rally, make the tackle. Perfect 3rd down and long execution by this defense.
No chance for a return. He makes the fair catch at the 26, and that's where they'll go to work. The Hurricane offense will get its first crack at it now. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country, and how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make it? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups, or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the smallest windows, but you're right. He's got to pick his battles and be careful when he decides to attack this guy, because he has picked off some really good quarterbacks in the past, and you know he's just licking his chops hoping for a chance today.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. The Canes have a first down. These two have storied traditions in the history of the sport, but in the not-too-distant past, Miami actually considered giving up football, and Florida State was an afterthought.
Yeah, a lot of people forget back in the day when Miami was in the Big East, right? And Florida State was in the ACC. This was kind of an interconference battle every time they played, but no doubt, David, this game just holds so much more significance to both programs.
Both in the state of Florida, Florida State, Miami, the uniforms are so great, the lineage, the history of the players, so it does. It feels like this rivalry's been playing a lot longer than since 1950.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Give to the running back. And he uses a stiff arm to push his way past the sticks and pick up the first down.
A lot of times on 2nd down, you're thinking pass, especially second, maybe in a little bit long. Really good job by the offense, committing to the running game, getting the first down really easily.
And the Canes look to keep this drive humming. Looking for a man. It's back. Quick strike complete. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times they'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it's still a positive game.
The Hurricanes have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. To the ground with the back. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. No matter who's been leading the program, Miami always wants to be able to run the ball with some physicality.
Yeah, it starts everything. The line of scrimmage starts everything. That attitude starts everything. And the U is known for attitude. And when they play physical, they've got great teams.
To the ground. He's got it again. Breaks the tackle. And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Well, based on that, we can hope to see a little more offensive explosion here in the second quarter as we get ready to get things started. Using his legs, it's Fletcher. They get him stopped after he picked up a 5 to the 28.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. You just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for him.
A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on 3rd down at the dope. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Canes! And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive, and he finished it with a scintillating 28-yarder to the house. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Wide receiver going in motion. Off play action on 1st down. Going up top. Hauls it in down the sideline. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
Well, nice job hauling that pass in. I'll tell you, he keeps defenses on their heels. He really does. His speed is so scary. And I think back to my days in college. We used to play against the Seminoles when they had Peter Warrick and Lavernius Coles. And because of their game-breaking ability, it put so much pressure on our defense. I'll tell you, this guy's good enough to, I think, have played on that Seminole offense. And he would have gotten some looks. This guy can make some plays.
These guys are called matchup guys. They're not the biggest guys on the field, but they're going to win. Short, and they're going to catch the ball, and they're going to make yards after the catch. You can tell those are the type of guys in college football that are starting to get maximized and used a lot more than they were in the past.
Trying play action. Caught in the backfield. It's Pittman. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Looking for a man. It's Castellanos. Trying to barrel in. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one.
Nice job by the defense forcing the 3rd and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
They've moved it right to the edge, and they need 1 more yard for the touchdown on 3rd down. Barrels ahead.
To this guy who just has a nose for the end zone. He's able to find the crease and pay it off for his offense.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And he added the extra point. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. The inside handoff. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And the quickest way to blow up the run game is those interior big boys. Those defensive tackles getting in the backfield really quickly and making that ball hurt.
And that D tackle was in the backfield in a hurry. The big man is nimble.
Nimble, fast, quick, athletic. That's just all words you describe defensive linemen with.
Makes the grab. It's Fletcher. After the filthy move, he's got room. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. Hitting on transfer portal quarterbacks can be tricky. Certainly Miami did so with Cam Ward a season ago. And Jesse, they're hoping to keep it going with Carson Beck.
They want the Carson Beck version from 2023. At the end of that season, after winning the Orange Bowl, a lot of people thought Carson Beck would end up being the first pick of the NFL draft. 2024 was a bit more up and down. They need him to play well each and every week. He's playing, remember, behind.
There he goes. They just gashed the defense on that one, and they've got it down to the 23.
Well, this offense is showing you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
And the Canes come to the line with a new set of downs. Pulls it and fires to the left. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown, Miami! A great catch and run for 6.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
Getting set for the point after. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the house call coming on the run from the 23. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The throw. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Looking to pass. It's Castellanos. Makes the grab down the middle.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
The Noles line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Gonna let it fly. Makes the grab right down the middle. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Who needs a 2-minute offense? When you're this explosive, this offense creates the big play, completely flips the field position right away, now in a position to go ahead and score points before the half.
That is a highly efficient way to move the chains, and now they are threatening inside the 40. They'll go to the counter. Got the first down and still on his feet. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Yeah, it's a really good job with the misdirection, right? Bringing somebody's one direction with so much speed, the defense reacts. Now you bring another guy the other direction. Hard to see one and then react to the other, especially with that kind of speed on the field. And that's why you...
Lets it fly deep downfield. Touchdown Seminoles! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
Nice job putting a drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a stat that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
Extra point here will tie the game. And the extra point is good. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with a touchdown toss from the 23. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. On the ground, it's Fletcher. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. It's Beck. Here's a heat. Just gets rid of it before the heat. And the pass is incomplete, but there is a flag down on the play. Let's see what that's about. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here for the Noles and Canes. And talk about a good competitive game so far. Not saying this has been the best first half we've seen in the history of these two programs, but they've matched each other's intensity, and the result has been a very evenly played game. Fascinating to see how the rest of this one plays out. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the battle between Miami and Florida State plays out.
We've got a good one going here in the third quarter, all tied up as he's set to kick it away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Finds the tight end. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. This tight end just creates matchup problems no matter how you try to defend him.
How about the catch radius on him, too? So as a quarterback, you don't have to be perfect when throwing it to him. You just got to get it somewhere in his vicinity, and he can come up with the catch.
Second down, they'll go to the air. That's caught. It's Fletcher. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide. And a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
On third and short, they'll ride the running back here. Wide open spaces. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
It's hard to stop great runners. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently. You got a big offensive line, a big physical unit. You run the football like this, man, it will take a toll later. But you got to tackle this guy over and over again who has this ability to make people miss and make big plays.
Might as well give it to him again. Right there to stop him, and that'll be a loss of 3.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
Back to pass, it's back. Makes the grab. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Complete some of these hitch throws early, you're setting up the hitch and go. Later on, you can pump fake that. And the receiver can pirouette right up the sideline. That might be a home run play for the offense.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on third down at the dome. From the gun, wants to pass. Slings it downfield. He makes a catch. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
And the Hurricanes are moving quickly down the field. The RPO, fire complete to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
It's complete. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered. Pick up the first.
You know, oftentimes these slot receivers, they're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're really good at finding the open spaces in the middle of the field. And you saw that guy attack the defense in the perfect spot, making life easy for his QB.
On third and short, they keep it on the ground here. Stopped in the backfield, and this defense has forced him into fourth down.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
Now on fourth down, here comes the field goal team. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. He's got it. Showing off that big leg
So many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. It's Lucas. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. They've got the screen set up. Runs through the tackle. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
And this offense, I think, will do a good job in this game divvying up the football and distributing it to different guys in the passing game. It won't just be receivers. It's not going to be tight ends. This running back, he's a weapon, too, after he catches it. You saw it right there.
The Seminoles can really attack on this 2nd and short. To the air, it's Castellanos. He's going to run it. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet. How about this dude going off script for the Noles, not necessarily known for his running ability?
Hey, make plays when they're there, right? I think that's one of the most important qualities of a quarterback is being able to make the right decision at the right time. And listen, they've had some great ones at Florida State. Looking for that next great one to take them over the top.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
We've reached the break, and Miami is holding on to the lead and sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the 3rd. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. The play action fake. Lofts one high and deep. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already got the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46. That was not a great throw. Might even call it ungood. Tried to put some air under it and just made it too easy.
I don't think the quarterback had a lot of confidence in where he was going with that football, Reese. I mean, that's a ball that needed to get there so much sooner. You got to put a little bit more mustard on that throw, and just lobbing the ball down the field like that, I don't know. You're asking for an interception.
Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
Well, the ball's barely touched the ground every time this guy's been dropping back so far in this game. That's one of the rare misses we've seen from him so far.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking downfield, it's back. Just a short pass to the tight end. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better 3rd down situation.
And I like the QB here. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get the 3rd down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards away.
On 3rd and short, trying to impose their will and move the chains. He's not going to get there, and this defense really needed a stop like that.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive line to push some guy backwards and make some holes?
The Canes will line up to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. And no chance for the return man to get his hands on that one as it hops out of bounds. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive. Stick your foot in the ground. Pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down at 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit, forcing the incompletion?
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. He lost one down the sideline. Makes it right up the 30. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Buys a little time. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
And man, that is a huge play for the defense because they had to stop the bleeding. On the very last play, they gave up an explosive one, and all of a sudden it feels like the defense is on their heels. But what a great job in an individual effort, winning up front, getting around the block, and getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play.
And the Seminoles now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. To the air, it's Castellanos. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again. Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer and getting the sack.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. Motion from the wideout. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And it's incomplete as he was trying to make the play in the back corner of the end zone.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
Right down the boulevard. It's good. Field goal was good. Game is tied, and how about a little drama, guys?
And that's why this kid is so automatic. Set him up anywhere on the field, and he puts it right down the pipe.
Coming down the stretch in the 4th, and we are all tied up, about set to kick it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Dropping back, it's back. Snagged out of the air. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Man, is that good situational football. Understanding what they're trying to do. They're trying to get it to their speedster. I got to come up. I got to get him on the ground. Nice execution by this defense, and they're going to need more of it. Late in the football game, who's going to win this battle?
2nd down, he'll throw it. Fires to the wideout. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
How nice is it as a defense when you've got a corner that can play on an island and be as dominant as this guy has been all game long? We just saw another great example of it right there. Breaking on the ball and knocking it away.
A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on 3rd down at the dope. From the gun, wants to pass. He unleashes a long one. And he's brought down after a huge completion. Timeout on the field, and we've got a dandy all tied up late in the 4th. And the Canes have it with a 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. He breaks a tackle. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
And this offense has got to get something, right? That's a couple plays in a row. Like, the clock is their biggest enemy, so we got to find a way to manufacture, push the ball down the field, make something happen with that clock running out.
Score is deadlocked, and we're running out of time. Here's the pressure. Going to try to get it himself. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defense there. First off, getting pressure initially and then forcing him outside the pocket after that. Excellent effort. All eyes on the quarterback. And you see the speed this defense has. They're going to be putting a lot of heat on this guy throughout the game.
Got him downfield. He gets the job done on third down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. Timeout is called by the offense. 16 seconds left in the game. From inside the 40 at the 37, it's first down. From the gun, the ground game. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. Timeout is called. Clock stops. 13 seconds to go in the game. And the field goal unit is on the field. This almost certainly to win the game. Timeout called by the defense. 13 seconds to go. They'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. This for the lead and very likely the win. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. They have taken the lead in the final seconds, guys, and the celebration has erupted on the sideline. Took the lead with that late clutch field goal, and now to see if they can get a stop and keep them from tying the game in the closing seconds. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Looking downfield, it's Castellanos. Fires to the big fella. Timeout is called with just a single second left. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away. They've got to push the ball down the field. Wants to fire on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. A rivalry defined by wide rights, wide lefts, mascot arrest went right down the middle, and a well-earned victory for the Miami Hurricanes. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.